Imagine being caught in a situation where the only way to win is to think not just about your own actions, but also predict how others would react. Welcome to the fascinating world of game theory. This isn't about complex mathematical models. Instead, it's about the decisions we make every day and how they intertwine with the decisions of others. Ever heard of the prisoner's dilemma? It's a classic example of game theory. In fact, the prisoner's dilemma, a captivating concept within game theory, is something you might have been a part of without even realizing it. So, what exactly is this prisoner's dilemma? It's a paradox in decision analysis where two individuals acting in their own self-interest do not produce the optimal outcome. Let's break it down with a simple, relatable example. Imagine two friends, let's call them Alex and Blake. They're suspected of committing a crime together, but the police lack the necessary evidence to convict both. So they're held in separate cells, unable to communicate with each other. Now the detective offers each of them a deal. If one stays silent while the other confesses, the confessor gets a 1-year sentence, and the silent one gets a 5-year sentence. If both confess, they each get a 3-year sentence. But if both stay silent, they each get only a 2-year sentence due to lack of evidence. Here's where it gets interesting. The best collective outcome is for both to stay silent, serving 2 years each. But without the ability to communicate, each is faced with a dilemma. Do they trust the other to stay silent, or do they confess to minimize their own sentence at the expense of the other? This, my friends, is the essence of the prisoner's dilemma. It's a classic example of a situation where individual rationality, confessing to minimize one's own sentence, conflicts with collective rationality, both staying silent to minimize the total years served. The prisoner's dilemma isn't just a theoretical construct. It's a lens through which we can view real-world situations, from business negotiations to environmental conservation. It helps us understand why individuals, acting in their own self-interest, might make choices that seem counterintuitive or even detrimental to the group's best interest. This concept highlights the inherent tension between personal gain and the common good, a tension that's often at the heart of strategic decision-making. It challenges us to rethink our approach to cooperation and competition, to consider how we might achieve the best outcome, not just for ourselves, but for the collective. The prisoner's dilemma thus exposes a striking disconnect between individual strategy and optimal group outcome. Now, you might be wondering, what does this have to do with your professional life? Well, let's delve into that. Consider a scenario where you and your colleague are working on a project together. You both have the choice to either work hard or slack off. If both of you work hard, the project will be a success, earning you both recognition and potential rewards. This is the cooperative outcome, akin to both prisoners staying silent in the prisoner's dilemma. However, if one of you decides to slack off, leaving the other to carry the workload, this is comparable to one prisoner betraying the other. The slacker may reap the benefits without putting in the effort, while the hard worker ends up exhausted and potentially unrecognized for their extra efforts. Now, imagine you're in a negotiation scenario. Each party wants to achieve the best outcome for themselves, but the optimal solution is often found when both parties collaborate and find a mutually beneficial agreement. This is where understanding the principles of game theory can give you an advantage, allowing you to anticipate potential outcomes and make strategic decisions. In essence, game theory and the prisoner's dilemma provide a framework for understanding and predicting how individuals will interact in various situations, and this is as relevant in the boardroom as it is in a prison cell. Clearly, understanding the dynamics of game theory and the prisoner's dilemma can give you a unique edge in navigating workplace challenges. So, have you experienced a prisoner's dilemma in your life or workplace? Do you think understanding game theory can change how you make decisions? Delving into the world of game theory and the prisoner's dilemma, we've explored how these concepts can influence our decision-making processes. It's a fascinating journey that often reflects our everyday experiences. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Have you come across situations that felt like a prisoner's dilemma, maybe in your workplace or personal life? How did you navigate through it? What would you have done differently knowing what you know now about game theory? Your insights and experiences are valuable, not just to us, but to everyone in this community. We are all here to learn, grow, and understand these concepts better. Your input might just be the spark someone needs to gain a new perspective. Remember, the more you engage, the more you learn. So, don't forget to subscribe for more insights, comment with your thoughts, and check out our other content to further expand your understanding. Make the most of your viewing experience and join us in exploring the fascinating world of game theory.